lot of interest in it.
Neither have I. I'm just sitting in front of it.
This is great.
I have no idea what these things are.
No.
You know,
But
it
you-
takes forever
but-
to
yeah,
learn how.
exactly. Like you need to know how much one part or two parts of this or stuff like that, right?
Well, I think what you got to. So, one thing, one older, experienced perfume guy, what he said is basically like two golden rules. There's no real rules, but there's kind of like two golden rules, and then everything after that, it's all like variables and things meant to go off on tangents and be creative with. Okay, so he said, number one, you gotta learn the personality of the materials.
Yeah.
So,
Is this on?
yeah, it's on.
all right.
Okay. So you gotta learn the personality of the materials. It means like, you know, say for example, like Mr. Patchouli. If you can imagine Patchouli-san,
Yeah.
which I have. Where is he? Which is absolutely one of my favorite things. And that somebody I met with earlier today, she said it smells like, patchouli smells like squished ladybugs. You know when you're a little kid and you squish the ladybugs and they have...
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I don't think
I mean,
so.
that stringent smell, it's that.
It's got a bitter, woody smell.
Exactly.
So if you can imagine like patchouli as like a character or a person, and then you know this person like they last a really long time. They're very hardy, and patchouli is like a dark material, and it's woody, and when it dries out, it smells really really dusty, like ancient. So he said basically, you know, you got to know like the personality of the materials, and you're like a DJ, so you match them up to dance with somebody else in the dance hall. So you could say like, Mr. Patchouli, go take a dance with like the Rose, who's like this gorgeous lady, you know, in like a silk dress, very very soft, usually rose, and obviously it's kind of like fruity. Like roses have nuances of like peaches and apricots and apples and nuances of lychee. Like really nice rose could be like cherry and lychee, fruity, and a little bit dusty and powdery. And you got to imagine when if you match these pairs up to dance them together, how they're gonna interact with one another. So how does the Lady Rose influence Mr. Patchouli, and how does Mr. Patchouli influence the Lady Rose?
Very true.
Yeah. So he said, you know each individual and then how they interact with each other, and then after that, once you kind of know those two things, then it's all like, you know, do whatever you want. So, well, why don't you introduce yourself to this is Richard?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm Richard. Matt and I met last month.
Yeah, Richard just came back to Vancouver.
Yeah, from Tokyo.
From Tokyo. How many years in Tokyo?
Was there 9 years.
9 years.
And yeah, I was doing lots of stuff over there.
You're a businessman.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, and actually, I'm a sommelier. I'm
Professional sommelier.
Yeah, so WSE, SET certified.
What does that say again?
It's actually.
Can you say the
WSET.
WSE,
which is actually the organization in Britain, UK.
UK.
Yeah, which is actually globalized for wine education.
Okay.
And, certification.
Do you know what does it stand for?
It's wine. Sorry, just a second here. I almost forgot. Wine service education and.
Okay,
You know,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
All we go is like WSE.
Okay.
So yeah.
But the main thing, you did the school, and then,
Yeah.
but the main thing is the job. You did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, I had the whole education about the wine training, obviously, and in the end, you have to obviously go through the blind taste to pass the exam. Obviously, there's a
I heard
knowledge-
the exam is insane.
Well,
It's not easy.
No, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not
I mean,
bad.
as long as you actually train your nose and make sure that you're able to differentiate, and it's almost like basically becoming a detective.
Right, okay,
Yeah, you
okay.
have to deduce from the all the profiles. Everything from the clarity, the nose, palette, the finish. All those you have to take in account. The color.
So you use the word deduction. So like
Yeah.
you would, for example, you'd look at a wine and you could say, okay, it looks like A, or you would say, no, it doesn't look like B or C, therefore it must be A.
Yeah, it's pretty much like as you may know, there's each region, wine region, have distinctive character and what's called terroir, which means
Terroir?
Yeah, which
Oh.
is where the grape is grown because of the climate, soil.
What's the meaning of terroir?
Terroir, yeah, basically that's what it is. It
Oh,
means
okay.
like
The environmental
the
impact.
environment, the soil, all that taken into account, and that affects the character. So the
Okay.
same grape varietal, like such as Chardonnay grown
Okay.
in, say like in France, will be different from the Chardonnay that's grown in California.
Or Japan? Do they?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And the French will say their Chardonnay is the best.
well, yeah. I mean,
It's subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, it can
Yes
be.
and no,
it can
right?
Be. It can be.
Yeah.
It's just that there is a standard.
There's a
And-
standard.
yeah, and
There's a standard.
Whereas France is quite very stringent in terms of their regulation. Other countries are very different with
Oh,
the
okay.
regulations. So
Okay.
there's a very distinctive way of making. Well, actually, the viticulture. Viticulture
Okay.
meaning the how to grow grapes.
Okay.
And there's a strict rule
It's
in,
very strict.
in France.
Yeah.
Depending on the region.
You know what? When I was in Tokyo, I swear to God, one of the best things that I ever learned in Japan is watching how the people work, because the Japanese, not everybody, but just the cultural generalization, the Japanese work very, very well, and they work very meticulously, and they care about the details, and they care about the nuances of something. Like I remember being in Kyoto, and in Kyoto there was this person selling like what's that rice sticks, dongos?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Dangos, those balls, like kind of rice cake on sticks, right?
Right, and you think, okay, rice cake on sticks, so I can mush some rice and I stick it on a stick and I put it on a fire, that's good enough, that's fine. But this person, I found out, their family has been running this little corner, not even a store, for like 400 years. And the copper that they used in the barbecue that they're using to make the dango, and the rice they're using had to come from one specific farmer's field. And
Yeah.
the water they got to pour, like to mix the rice with, had to come from this particular river over those mountains like 30 miles away. And everything had to be like the very best water, the very best
Yeah.
rice.
Very.
And they're just selling it for like $1.25.
Exactly.
It's insane.
You actually touched up a really good point there.
Yeah.
In France, just like
Similar.
very similar regulation. There's supposed to be specific amount of certain grape varietal from a specific region.
Okay.
In order to kind of be certified as that wine from that region, and there's I think Japan and France is quite similar in terms of keeping tradition and
Traditional,
making sure,
conservative.
Very conservative is a very
No, I don't mean a negative
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
I mean trying to keep the good things.
Yeah.
Don't change the good things if it's
exactly.
don't change
in
it
other
if it's
words,
not broken.
In other words, to kind of making sure that the conservation of the technique, of the taste, all that is not changed or modernized in any way. They just really want to maintain the history. I think they're very Japan and France is very similar in that they want to keep that kind of savor that history and
Right.
yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So this is my
Collection.
collection. Yeah.
And I see you've done some experiments here.
Lots of experiments.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of time.
Sampling.
Yeah. So I'll show you these boxes here.
Oh, I didn't recognize this until now.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, so these boxes here, I've got two sets. I've got this set of drawers and this set of drawers. So these are like amber type materials here, and aldehydes, balls. So these are various types of raw materials in here, right?
So why do you have like two?
Okay. So these are individual materials.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then these are like mini perfumes, where the chief constituent.
Okay.
Okay, so like an
So
amber.
this is like the raw stuff. This
Yeah.
is the like stocks.
This is the stock.
Yeah,
This is the ingredients.
Mhm.
This is the ingredients here.
And this is like, for example, amber-based perfume mixes.
Yes.
That-
These are like pre-made, kind of miniature sketches of perfumes.
Mm.
They're sketches of perfumes.
Interesting.
So these are ambers,
Mhm.
and an amber, as far as I understand, the first ambers were created with the creation of vanillin. You know vanillin?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got vanillin here. Okay, I've got vanillin here. So this is vanillin.
Wow.
Okay, you
Now,
smell
can
it.
I?
You can smell it. But
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
it's uber sweet, right? It's super sweet. How does that smell?
Yeah, actually. Quite sweet, actually.
Of course.
And it's almost like that. I mean, you should have. It's almost like that baby powder kind of style.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a hint of that, but and a touch of mint.
Maybe. Yeah.
But lots of sucrose.
It's
Lots
just
of
it's
sucrose.
100% sugar.
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's a lot of sucrose.
it's a lot of sugar. I've got two types of vanilla. So I got vanillin, and then do you know anything about chemistry? This is ethyl vanillin.
Ethyl.
So this is
Yeah,
this is
I
10
know
times
exactly.
sweeter than this.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me check this out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's got a different texture if you actually look at the crystals.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's different, right?
Actually, this is almost like the amplified version of that one.
Yeah, it is.
But it's almost got that.
These look like white crystals.
Yeah, it does actually. It's almost got that grain sweetness to it. Yeah,
Right?
grain sweetness. You know, almost like that the refined flour kind of. Yeah.
For some people, it's so sweet
Mm.
that if I have to dilute it to 1%, and then when you smell it, it just kills the room.
So this you dissolve it
Oh.
in what kind of solution?
So there's a bunch of different solutions. The people that are going for like healthy, all organic stuff, they tend to use like things like jojoba oil,
Sorry.
jojoba,
Jojoba.
jojoba oil.
Oh, is that right?
Okay. But I don't really
Jojoba
use
oil.
that very often unless my customers ask me to dissolve all my materials in that, or ethyl alcohol.
Yes.
Or
I was gonna say
this stuff,
with
perfumer's
the
base.
perfume, you know,
Yeah.
That's
Or this
perfumer's
stuff.
base.
That's perfumer's base. So I ordered it from a company. It's got-
triethyl citrate.
No. This is a different stuff.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
This is perfumer's base.
Mhm.
My mistake.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
This perfume.
So it's perfumer's base with DPG glycose, like a kind of oil made from vegetable, like a vegetable oil. What it does is it slows down the evaporation process so that the perfume lasts longer.
Yes.
So this is kind of a pre-made, sort of easy material. You delight stuff in it, and it's just, I don't have to screw around anymore.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Like,
Okay.
I was wondering about how long
Yeah.
perfumes last. Like, how, like after